What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, as you guys can see with the stripped out Jeep behind me, today we're doing a transformation on the interior, and we're finally going to get to painting the floors, as well as doing a little bit of a transformation in the back here where we're not going to be putting the seat back in. We actually have a cool solution that's going to go back here, and first step is going to be to rip all of this remaining stuff out, because yesterday, or in the last video, we went out and we washed it and we checked for all the leaks, because we did replace the floor pans and we did replace all the torque boxes, as well as these corners are brand new and replaced, and this sill. So everything back here is new, as you can see, all the seam sealer that we did. So we only have a few little pinholes left that we didn't catch because we were in a dark garage and we just weren't able to see them. So yesterday we went out to the car wash. Justine was in here with the camera. If you guys didn't catch that video, definitely check that out. But we have a few pieces and cracks and crevices that we need to cover. So I have a couple of things that we're gonna do today. So first, obviously, we're gonna have to remove the rest of this carpet and these amps and the capacitor. That is all going to get moved and pushed out of the way. I think what we're going to do, because all the wiring runs from the front, this was installed by the previous owner, this will get put on the seats for now, because the seats are the only thing that's not coming out. I took the center console out, but the seats, we had trouble enough with the bolts that we took out when we were doing the floor, so I know that that's just going to be more headache than it's worth. So we're going to leave those in, tape around them, and we'll still be able to cover all the floors underneath. You'll see. But first things first, after we remove all of this, is brushable seam sealer. So we're gonna grab this stuff and give it a good seal all around anywhere where we still saw a crack or a leak. Then once the seam sealer is done, we're gonna come in and do the fiberglass. And this is the fiberglass cloth that I'll be using. It's not the thickest cloth that you can get, but it's not the thinnest one either. This one's kind of like a woven cloth that resembles almost like a weave on a carbon fiber. If you're familiar with what the weave looks like, this is pretty much similar to that. I'm not saying this is the strength of that, but it's kind of that idea. So we're going to use this along with the fiberglass polyester resin for fiberglass, and we're going to cover up one hole that's right in there, and I think we might have one more somewhere, but I know there's one that we need to deal with over there. So first things first, let's get all of this out of here and let's seal up all of the cracks and crevices. Most of these ones just came out pretty easy. And now we got one guy left. Well, that's fun. Not a single one of them wants to budge. Okay. We got one. That one's out. Okay, we got that one out. I can't even see this one. I'm just going by feel, but honestly, it doesn't feel great. Hey, there you go. Sometimes you just gotta hit it. I think that's it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, never without a fight, but we got it done. Well, we got everything out, and there's a big wrench thrown into my plans. Now, we were going to put in a cool thing back here, but it requires a flat floor, and while this isn't really an issue, that is, excuse me, that is a pretty nasty hump. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but
like if I were to put something flat,
it's bad. Like, it's real bad.
Like, I don't really know how to.
Like, you can see, I can fit my finger under there. So there's a pretty nasty hump right here. And unfortunately, I will try to install the thing that I have to install, but that's pretty unfortunate. I don't know if it's even gonna go in. We will do our best. I'll see what I can do, but yeah, for now, let's just continue on with coating the floor. Well, I don't know if they were building a submarine, but this thing has a lot of drain plugs. We just pulled out literally 10 oval drain plugs and 4 of the round guys. And these were all in there. Like, this is what's usually in your Jeep, in a two-door. I wonder what the hell's in the Gladiator. But we've got the back wiped down and clean. She's nice and ready to go. Now, we didn't have to go too hard because we're still gonna have to sand it down. So we have to, anywhere where there's rust, I'm gonna come in with the angle grinder and get it down to bare metal. Anywhere where it is good paint, like here, the front, and anywhere where we have decent paint, we're just gonna scuff it up with a Scotch-Brite pad and get the clear coat off. That way it actually grabs and holds onto the primer, and the primer has something to adhere to. So we'll grab all of that tomorrow. Today we're going to focus on completing the seam sealer, which is this gray stuff that you see around here. So Justine's just finishing up the last little touch in the front there to get the dust off, and then we'll seam seal it. So the reason we're wiping it down right now is because we don't want to seal the dust and the dirt into the seams, because then that's just, yeah, it's no bueno. So right now we're going to finish that up, lay down some seam sealer, then I'm going to lay down the fiberglass real quick, and I think that we're going to let that settle for the night, come back tomorrow, prime, paint, let that settle for the night. Then the next day we're going to have to reassemble everything, put it all back together, and hope for the best, because yeah, I didn't label where a lot of things went, but I'm sure we'll remember.
A lot of the marker washed off during the second rinse cycle.
Yeah, so we also, we had a Sharpie, and I told her, whenever you see any water or bubbles coming through, just give it a quick Sharpie, because we're going to be painting it anyway, and that way we know where to seam seal. And
this is what's left of the very, very prominent circle.
So yeah, the soap at the car wash apparently is great because it washes away even permanent marker. But however, we were probably writing on a wet surface, so it wasn't adhering that well.
As I went.
Yeah, well, she tried. She tried her best. Either way, guys, let's get it, let's hit it, and let's finish this thing off, because to be honest, I'm tired of spending my nights down here. I think we both want a break, and we both want to be able to do other things at the end of the day. And that's basically what it is like a, I think this is polyurethane, I'm not too sure, but either way, it's like a rubberized sealant. And this we'll be using when we have to pour the actual fiberglass mixture, and then we'll use this for that. But right now, all we need is a paintbrush and some hopes and dreams. Okay, there's our fiberglass in the resin. So I already cut the sheet. That's our piece. We're gonna just have to take it over there and lay her in there.
It's right in here.
gotta get the extra off.
Oh. Okay.
And there it is, guys. I know it's hard to see because it is clear, but the fiberglass is there and it is covering up that dirt and that hole. So now all we need to do is wait for this to all dry and settle, and we can come back in here, sand everything down, paint everything, and get it done. And we're back for day 2, but it's actually day 3. We spent an entire day taping everything off and getting everything ready, and now everything is ready to go. So as you can see, Justine is starting to sand everything down. We did try doing it with a Scotch pad and it was taking far too long, so we do have 150 grit sandpaper. We're just gonna bang it out with the sandpaper and get it done that way. So now everything is dry that we did the other day, and I don't know what that is, probably a piece of sandpaper, but you can see everything is nice and dry. So we don't have to worry about this curing because it already did. And that fiberglass that we did also dried up pretty good. So that patch right in here, it's nice and hard and everything is dry. So I'm gonna come in now, and anywhere where I have some rust, such as here, anything like that, and over there, we're gonna come in with the angle grinder and just give it a quick zip so that we can get all the rust out. Anything that is still good, we're just gonna basically sand it down. You can see from here over, we've already done. And yeah, this guy also didn't want to come out, so I guess it's gonna get painted in. I did tape over all of the webbing and cover up all the seatbelt, but yeah, more fun of the Jeep. So not only is the floor a nice wave, half of these bolts don't want to come out, which is another reason why I didn't even attempt to take the seats out this time, because when we did the floors in the front and we tried, it was a nightmare. So we're not going to talk about that. And that's pretty much it. So I can move this seat just a bit, but not too much. I left enough room that I can actually get in there, deal with it, and then left enough room that I can get back here. But everything is sanded down. All of the rust spots got taken care of, and everything is nice and matte, so it's ready to accept the primer, and hopefully everything sticks nice. But I think we're pretty much ready to hit it. And we are going to be using the same stuff that we used on the side over here, which is the Rust-Oleum primer filler and the good old gravel guard. So she's going to be nice and tough because that stuff holds up real well. She's having fun. It's only 2 a.m. and yeah, that is a.m., not 2 in the afternoon. So yeah, let's get this thing done hopefully by 4 so I can get to sleep by 5 and then wake up and do the head gasket. So yes, usually you do go spray, 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 spray in strokes, but when you're doing an interior like this, it doesn't really matter as much, especially because it's all taped off and there's nowhere where you can really make a run. Like if it runs, we're gonna be covering this anyway, so you'll never see it. Over here though, we usually take our time, spray, 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 so that you don't have any runs. You always start your spray before the panel and end your spray after the panel, so you don't have any like the buildup. However, it's coming out really well, but look at all of this just from sanding and from cleaning. Like it is filthy in here, and that's just from sanding it down.
Shine the light, please.
It's looking good.
Here? Over here.
It's looking good. Get that hinge. That hinge over there.
Where? Oh.
Yeah. No, the whole thing.
I know. I'm trying to get into the bill.
There we go. So yeah. This was 2 cans. Usually we would put it on a little bit thinner, but it is also 2:15 in the morning and it's actually laying really, really well. So I'm actually happy with how it's coming out. I think that now the next step will be wait about, I think it says 15 to 20 minutes, and then we can coat with our top coat. So that's what we're gonna do. You can see, like it's already dry in most places. So that's why I like this stuff. It dries really well, it lays really well, and yeah, honestly, I haven't had any complaints with this stuff yet. Not sponsored by Rust-Oleum, but they do make a great primer. The floor too.
I'm out.
You gotta hold the can like this.
I'm out.
All right, it's out. Yeah, it's all out. Well, that's 2 cans of primer and 4 cans of the gravel guard. Should cover all of this, but I guess we'll find out in a minute. Look at that bubbling. Looking over here.
I can't breathe. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's a car. Thank God. I almost set off the car alarm. I walked right into the wall.
If you could get that lip from your side, right in there, right here.
Yeah. I'll get that just a second.
Hey, I've only got a little bit on my arms. It mixes well with the primer though. Like, it's like a camo. I'm Jeep man now, you know? You'll never see me. Okay, while I can still get in here, I think I'm gonna jump in from this side so I can get all of that, like, yeah, angles. It's all about the angles. There we go. That's what I needed to get the rest of that floor over there. There's one more. There's cans upstairs. If you can grab me
In
one.
that box?
Yeah, in that box in the storage room.
Yeah, you want one more?
One more.
One more to do.
Oh, we were so close. So that was 4 cans. I do have 2 more. I was gonna use basically one of them for underneath, and I was gonna use another one for touching things up, but now I'm gonna have one left for underneath. Because as you guys can see here, there's still a patch that needs painting, but it's coming out pretty good. And you can see, if you don't spray from too far, you don't get that crazy texture like I was talking about. So it actually comes out pretty nice. Like for the interior, I actually really like this. It still has a bit of a texture, but it's not nuts. It's just subtle enough that you can notice it. Once it dries, you'll actually be able to see it a lot better.
Get a shot of this. Move your hand.
I can't, it's gonna fall.
No, move your hand.
I told you it's gonna fall. Nice. Paint line came out kind of crookedy, whatever, but the label's still there and the carpets are gonna go back, so it's not a big deal. This is literally to seal it and protect it all, and this paint was still good, so it's all good. So I got one more can for us. However, I am pulling the tape first, because I only have this section left, so I'm not gonna pull the tape over there yet, but I do wanna see if there's anything to touch up. But so far, I'm pretty happy. We unwrapped her. Now it's just time for the last few little touch-ups, such as something like that. But it honestly came out awesome. Like, I'm really happy. And it does have a little bit of dirt and dust on it from all the crap that we took off just now. However, it is dry enough, like you can see. It's dry enough that the dirt won't settle into it. It's just gonna off gas now and kind of dry. So tomorrow I'm gonna come back in here and give it a nice wipe down with like a cloth or something, just to get all the dust and dirt off of it, because unfortunate, but we had to take the tape off and all the I can't even talk anymore. It's 4:15 in the morning. All the tape and all the paper and all the masking off, because if we didn't, it would have dried to it and it would have been next to impossible to take it off tomorrow, and then I would have had tape and all kinds of stuff stuck into this, because this is not fun to deal with once it's dry. Trust me, I know I'm gonna have to deal with a lot of it. But I'm just happy that it's done. It came out great. And yeah, like honestly, I even got in all of the edges all through there, all the way around. So I'm super happy with my coverage and how I got it all the way in there, everywhere.
My hand could only fit in this.
And yeah, last few little things to tie up.
Get that light out of my face, please.
Last few little things to do, like take out these guys and let it dry overnight. This does take about 12 to 17 hours to fully cure. Now that it's 4 o'clock, by the time I come back in the morning and do the head gasket, this will be fully cured. So either tomorrow night or the day after, we'll put her all back together. And actually, I think we're still gonna be able to do our thing back here. So stay tuned, because I think I have a solution. Well, we're back, and it's been more than a couple of days. It more than cured. We came back, we cleaned everything up, and we threw the carpets in. You can see everything under there is nice and painted. We've got the carpets back in, and everything is ready to go for the next step. And the next step is, actually, we took all the brackets out, which I will paint under here after too. You can see that's the only part we didn't paint because the brackets were there. And that's because we didn't plan on doing this part, but I think I can make it work. So you'll see in a minute. These guys, I will zip tie out of the way and just get them kind of put out of the way, so they're not gonna be dangling around and making noise. But they are not gonna be taken out, because in case I wanna put the seat back in or somebody else wants to put the seat back in, that's gonna stay. And all you have to do is just put the center bolt back in and you'll have your seat belts back. So, and sorry if I sound a little bit raspy, I am sick, or just coming off of being sick, and I'm doing my best. But I somehow caught a sore throat. It got real warm out. I don't know if I went into the AC or if I was just, I don't know what happened, but yeah, not feeling too great. So let's go. We got all the carpets back in, front and back. Everything is back how it should be. All the carpets are here, and you can see all the floors underneath are nicely coated. So we're good there. We've got all the mats back in, center console is back in, mounted all the way up. Everything's back in the center console, so we're good to go. Now, the reason the Jeep is flipped around is because we did the head gasket the other day, and well, it actually, to my surprise, the engine looked like brand freaking new inside. Now, that video will be coming out after this video, but you can see, actually, hold on, you'll see better from the other side. There is a shiny new gasket right there. That is our head gasket. We also have a nice new valve cover gasket, new exhaust gasket, and well, that's exhaust and intake, but everything is replaced. She runs really well, and I was surprised at how well and how nice the engine was kept inside, because there was no gunk, no nothing. Like, the thing was spotless, which makes me want to kind of keep this for a little bit longer and send it just a bit, but at the same time, I don't know, because keeping this is stopping me from building that, and that's pretty much the dilemma. Even though I know that this is good still, and like it'll run good and it'll be good, but I don't know. I kind of want to build this, so we'll see. I'm in a tough spot right now, but we will see. You'll know more after you see the next video, because this thing was pretty mint inside. But right now, the next step will be to open this big old box and start doing the setup back here. So let me get this open and I'll explain to you guys what we're doing. So I'd like to give a big shout out to Tuffy and Tuffy Security Products, because this was sponsored by them, and I really apologize for not getting this on sooner, but through a bunch of different circumstances, here we are now. So this thing, let me tell you guys, they packaged it like Fort Knox. Like, so inside the box, once you get the box off, you've got this cap on each side. You can see there's another one on that side. This thing is like thicker than the metal we used for the floors. Like, I'm telling you, this is good stuff. So they definitely package their products well, because they're proud of their products, and this is one hell of a security deck. That's basically what I can call it. So once you guys see it installed, it totally changes the inside and the whole look of the Jeep. It's going to be totally different. Gives you a whole different way to use the back of the Jeep, and I'm actually really excited to get it in. So let me lay this box down, because it's a little bit hard with one hand, and let's see what we got inside. Well, you know things are getting real because we got the instructions out. There is quite a few parts. So there's those pieces over there, these pieces, or this one big piece, and what this is going to end up looking like is something like this. It's going to have a wall on this side, I believe, and this is going to be a deck lid that opens up, and we're also going to have those two guys over there over the wheel wells as like parts bins. So there will be these over here. Then we're also going to have this big deck lid, which has a rubber seal here. It's going to meet up perfectly right here, which is why it's got that curve to it. And that's going to basically cover everything up until the floor ends right there. And we will be dealing with the carpet. I know this is disgusting and it's all rusty and nasty. I will be dealing with that. But first, I want to get this in here. Once it's in here, I can put in new carpet, rip this carpet out, clean this, whatever the case is. That can come after this, because I want to make sure that this fits and this goes in. The reason I didn't think it was going to fit is because of all those lumps and bumps in the floor. The floor is not perfect. It's got a big dent there, and yeah, so we'll see what we can do, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get it in and mount it somehow. So yeah, wish us luck. We'll keep on reading the instructions and see what we can get out of this, but it doesn't look too bad. Well, we definitely made some progress. We got everything but the top deck in. Right now we have these guys mounted, and they do mount using the OEM seat brackets, so those go back in on both sides. This one still has to get tightened down because I just need to align everything before I finally cinch it all down. Here are those trays, which will be nice and handy, and you can see it goes pretty far back. Like, you still have room behind your seats, you still have the cup holders there and everything, but it actually goes right to the back of the floor there, which is nice. So we get a nice big load surface, and yeah, hopefully everything fits in here as we plan. Now we still have to do a couple more things, like tighten the back plate down here. It's not connected over there, and I still need to cut a hole in it to get the wiring for the sub, because the sub's gonna live back here. So we still need to figure that out. But so far so good. It's actually coming together. It's looking pretty good. Now we just need to finish it off and get the last few bolts in, and that's it. Oh, and it also bolts in here with the OEM bolts. So yeah, pretty easy actually. Pretty easy install. So we actually had to pull the back plate back out, which is sitting right there. We had to take it out so that we could run all of these wires, and they actually do fit in the gap between the two plates. And we mounted all of our amps on the back of the sub here, and I have the capacitor mounted on the side over here, which we also wired the ground over here to the actual plate. We scuffed up this side under the bolt. We also scuffed up this side, which you guys just saw, under this bolt, and that way it has somehow to actually ground back to the body. So now let's get everything back in. I'm happy that it actually fits in here, and let's see if everything fits back in. And we went all out. We took the rail out and did it the proper way. we scuffed up on the inside as well, and scuffed that part up so that it is actually all connected properly. And I will test it in just a second, but let's bolt it all back in and see, once everything's bolted in, if it's going to turn on or not. And here it is. So you can see it looks like a giant box in the back. It does go down to here, and we do have a nice pass through for the wires, which you can see still do move, so they're not getting pinched. There is a space here that we can use now for storing items such as recovery ropes or any kind of soft items, soft shackles, whatever. Then we have trays on top. I still have to wipe everything down, but we have trays on top. This is nice and locked in. There is a seal in here as well, so you can't really get anything in there. And then from the back side, I left the window open because this is designed so that when you have no roof, you have all your security. So you can see there, Tuffy security products. Link will be in the description. But once you have it open, what you have to do is you slide it towards yourself, and that unlocks it, and you can get inside and get to all your belongings. Now, if you slide it all the way back, then you can just remove this totally and just take it right off. Or if you wanted to, you could leave it in the back seat just like that, get to everything that you need to get to, and then it locks in on these channels right here and on this channel here. So basically, it might be a little hard with one hand, but and that's it. And it's locked in place. All right, we're back. It's the next day, guys. Feeling a little bit better, and I got everything back in as it will be if we take it for a ride. And we got the fridge in here. The fridge is actually running right now off of this, and this is how I would have it set up, and how I pretty much will have it set up, either in here or in there. In here, I can still plug this into the vehicle, so when the vehicle's running, it's charging this, and this is charging this, or this is powering this, and whenever I turn the vehicle off, it doesn't cut power to the fridge. So that's why we have this guy. I do the same thing in the Gladiator. I plug the fridge into the battery and the battery into the Gladiator, so that whenever I turn the vehicle off, I still have battery for the fridge. So there we go. We have our fridge back here. We've still got a little bit of space here because I had to center the fridge on the two mounting points. And you guys can see here, these guys that I put in when we were actually replacing all the hardtop screws, I got the ones with the little tie downs. Now, I wouldn't trust these for very much weight, but for something like this, where it's just a fridge, I don't think we're gonna have any issues. And like, she's in there. She moves a little bit, but that's because I need to put one more strap on this side. I had to double these ones up because I didn't have one long enough. So I will just get myself two longer straps, no big deal. But she's strapped in, this guy's in. And even though we can't open this up with the fridge on there, because to open this, you have to slide it back, which is fine because everything down here is sorted and taken care of now. So we have all our loose items, from our tire inflator to our tire plug kit, all little loose tools and whatever else we need is there. Socket set is tucked in with the speaker. And on this side, we have all our recovery gear in a bag ready to go, which I would probably leave over there when I'm on the trail, so it's quick and easy access. But we also have our tool roll on this side and all our liquids on the floor behind the seats. So coolant, oil, diff fluid, washer fluid, anything else that I would need is all there behind the seat. And I can show you guys, we still have tons of space on this side for all of our gear. So I can still stick my chainsaw in here, I can still stick my bag, I still have all the room back here. I left the chalk back here for easy access so that when I'm on the trail and I want to park the Jeep somewhere, sometimes I don't trust the e-brake or leaving it in gear, because even in gear and 4-low, it'll still creep a little bit. So there's that. And we have breaker bar, gloves. On the other side, we've got more straps and tie downs. So I actually really like this setup, and I think we will be taking it off road once at least. We got to test it out, we got to take it out. We put all this work into it. The engine is mint, we just put a new head gasket in it. So I think we're gonna send it at least once. We're gonna take it off road, enjoy it, see how this whole setup works. And one nice thing about this fridge from Set Power is it has the reversible door. So I can actually set it up like this, and we can access it from inside the Jeep when we're on the trails. So we can easily just crank it open, grab whatever we need, good to go. And it looks like I need to give this thing a wipe down after loading it in here, but not a big deal. So personally, this setup, oh, I need to bring this upstairs because we don't need these in here right now. But personally, I think this is an awesome setup. It works great. Everything functions as it should. I'm actually really interested to take the roof off and try it without the roof, but we'll see. We'll see if we get to that point. Right now, I'm kind of happy with how it sits and that everything kind of came together and it installed properly. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. The link will be down in the description for this guy, and definitely go check out Tuffy. They have some awesome security products. They have all kinds of awesome lock boxes, not only for the TJs, for the JLs, for the JTs, for all kinds of different vehicles. So go check them out. Thank you guys for sponsoring me today and sending me this product. But yeah, I can't wait to actually use it. Well, I think that's gonna about call it for today's video. This thing turned out great. I'm actually really happy with how it came out, and I really like that Tuffy security deck. So definitely shout out to Tuffy, and also shout out to Set Power for sending the fridge. The fridge has been a beast. I haven't had any issues with it so far, and I just can't wait to keep using it because it just adds that much more pleasure to going off-road, having a nice fridge in the back of your Jeep. So yeah, and I do think we will be taking the Jeep off-road a couple more times. I know we'll be taking it off-road at least one more time this month, and hopefully we will see what happens when we put it for sale, because I will be posting it for sale. I don't know how long it's going to take, but when we still have it, we'll still use it. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm still on the fence, but I will be putting it up, and if I get the price that I want, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm like 90% ready to sell and 10% still want to keep it, so we'll see. But like I'm saying, this thing is being held up by this thing, so yeah. Don't know how long it'll last, don't know how long it'll be around, but we'll see. So thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for sticking around. If you guys are new around here, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, give this video a share, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.